Hi folks, this is Miguel from the Embargo Man channel. Okay, have you ever seen about football USA, football the rest of the world? Alright, now this is what it is to predictions. This is about football the rest of the world. My predictions for the 2022 World Cup, how is going to end. Alright, so I could remember seeing, for all you US fans, I know it's called Football Rest of the World here in the United States and in Canada. It's called soccer. So, would be an interesting FIFA World Cup in 2022, right? So, this is just the predictions, right? Asian teams are getting very good at the sport in soccer, football, right? So football, because that's what it's called in the rest of the world. So you have, Argentina eliminated Australia, Argentina lost. Australia lost to Argentina. Argentina went home. The biggest upset of this is one World Cup championship. All right, so one World Cup championship team getting eliminated when they defeated Costa Rica, and the other side is Japan has gone into the best of 16 finals. And this is where I'm gonna say this, okay? The next World Cup, what I'm gonna predict in 2026, but this, I'm not gonna go into 2026 yet. That is gonna be in the USA, Canada, and Mexico. I'm gonna wanna say this one in Qatar, the Middle East, in Asia, right? So what's going on is that for the next games, a best of the round of 16 or whatever it is, this is my predictions of where would it go. Okay, England is going home. Why I'm gonna tell England is going home? Because they're facing Senegal. Senegal is a very tough team, and yet, Senegal would get in and face the next one, whoever wins. All right, so it is what it is, and probably one Asian team might win in penalty kicks, but put it that way, England is going home. England going home. All right, so England goes home. All right, Poland goes home. Why Poland is going home? Poland is going home even though they're facing France. France is heading themselves fighting for the third place position. Right, so another one. Ivana, no. I know you do know this. You wanna looking good and whatever it is. All right, rooting for Croatia, and there's even a YouTuber who is of Croatian descent. She wrote a book. All right, so I will tell you what. Croatia is going home. Team Japan, Blue Samurai. See how they played. They defeated Germany, but even lost with Costa Rica. They defeated Spain. And I know that this team is going somewhere in 2026, and I'm gonna tell you anything about it before I reach the 2026 solution. We have to concentrate in 2022. Japan is going on third place against France. And all you Messi fans out there, I know the Dutch people are going to. First, it was Saudi Arabians when it says Messi. Where's Messi? The Dutch people are going to do this. Messi, where's Messi? Ivana Raymonda Vanderveen? Time to say yourself, Messi, where's Messi? Because your country is going to send Argentina home. Argentina is going home. Yes, Argentina is going home. Brazil is going home. For a matter of fact, where is Brazil is going home? I know that is going to be tough for Brazil, and probably they think, oh, Brazil's gonna beat South Korea, but South Korea is another team that is going for the world champs, and this is a conclusion to all this. And let me tell you this: Korean fans, most likely of all of them, there's going to be something important in the final, and I'm going to open the can of worms. And I have seen YouTube videos about, women being mistreated like trash in the Amsterdam red light district. There was going to be some Korean prostitute at the end. That means we're gonna see that this can of worms is gonna open it. Before they open the can of worms, I might see who is going to play next, but I'm gonna see what's going on. And I gotta tell you what's going on is that the other ones will be in some African teams winning. Morocco versus Spain. This would be totally, I'm not sure about Morocco. All I know is that Senegal is going to send England home. Morocco might send Spain home, or Spain might go. And the next one is Portugal, Switzerland. Probably would be Cristiano Ronaldo in Portugal. If they're doing their thing, probably Switzerland, even though they make watches, they make chocolates, stick with what you do, but Switzerland might go home. Right? So we have with these teams in there, Argentina versus the Netherlands, and the Netherlands are heading all the way on this one. And then Japan, Croatia. Japan is gonna be there. Brazil, South Korea, and whatnot. Well, what's going on in this, how it works. So this is how it is. All it is about that Morocco and Senegal might go. Morocco and Senegal. But they might just lose, and at the end they're not going to go for third place or whatever it is. Probably Japan might be running for third place. France might go for third place, and then what's going to be, probably at the end, these two African teams are going to make it at the end to not going to the finals, but around the quarterfinals or semifinals, the playoffs, put it that way. When the only thing that the Morocco and Senegal are going to face are going to go to the playoffs of the FIFA World Cup 2022. So what it's going to be is just all the 32 teams. I know that the USA has went home. I saw that game. Even though Team USA played really good. I'm talking about American fans and what I'm going to call soccer. They play really good soccer. But they didn't hold a candle against the Netherlands. But let me put you all into perspective, all right? So, this team I see, call it the Orange Machine, the Flying Dutchman, or whatever it is. let's put this analogy. I'm gonna put the analogy that is gonna be the NBA teams of the 1990s. I'm gonna want to put an example of whichever team you're gonna root for back in the 90s if you watched some basketball. Well, turned out to be that Team USA in the men's soccer team, the basketball equivalent would be the New York Knicks. I don't know if anybody is a Knicks fan or something like that. Yes, Team USA is the New York Knicks, right? So, and the Netherlands is the Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan, right? So, what it is that you reach that the Knicks reach that far to go against the Chicago Bulls, and then at the end, the Chicago Bulls beat out the New York Knicks, and the New York Knicks went home. That's a point of reality, and that's an analogy that I put it in there. The new put an analogy to the 1990s basketball teams, the NBA teams from the 1990s. The analogy is that I put in there within the U.S. and the Netherlands is that the Netherlands are like the Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan. You can't beat them. Team USA is the New York Knicks. The Knicks lose against the Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls sent the Knicks home. That's how it is. That's how I view it. And that's what I think where I'm going to go through this World Cup final, right? So here we go. Before I go in there, before I go to the 2026 final, I would just go to the third place, and I was just looking that two Asian teams this year are going to take second and third place of the FIFA World Cup in Qatar in 2022. I mean, this is not different than Japan, Korea in 2002, but 20 years later, it would be like a whole different story. South Korea is going to reach that far into the second place spot. Japan, I'm going to tell you, they are going to reach for the third place spot, and let me tell you why. All right, so after the playoffs, after the quarterfinals and all that stuff, I mean, after, Morocco goes home, Senegal goes home, Portugal might be, out, or saying about Cristiano Ronaldo and have took Switzerland home, and I mean, this is what it is. But anyway, even though Portugal has beaten by South Korea, and this is where South Korea goes. South Korea will face off the Netherlands. Third place position, Japan is going to face France. So that's the idea in my analogy how this 2022 Qatar FIFA World Cup final is going to end. It's going to end with two Asian nations in Asia. I know Qatar is in Asia, in the Middle East, taking the second and third place spot. And what is going to be of all this, and then this is not to say where it's going before I could say, okay, look at this, look at that, look at this, look at that. South Korea, they're going to stay on second place until if they could go for 2030 or something like that. The year 2030, South Korea might win, or maybe when it's going to be, I don't know, they might just win in something else in territorial disputes with Japan over the Liancourt rocks, right? That's an example. Who knows what's going to be happening before 2026? But for now on, let's focus on these and let's focus on the third place match and on the championship match. That means I'm gonna go with this thing, and I hope you folks in Japan, I would love to go to your country. Arigato gozaimasu. Konnichiwa. Okay, Japan, I love you, all right? I love you. Why? I would say this to Japanese fan or people who loves Japan. I love Japan too. I would love to go to Japan, like the anime and stuff. But I will tell you what, this is the third place this is the third place game. The third place game would be between Japan versus France. France has won the last World Cup in Russia. So what it be is that, the Japanese team could either, I think it's not gonna be by penalty kicks, but they would win this third place. Japan would win this third place position, I think, by 1 goal. Could be 1-1, 1-0. I guess it would be like that, Japan's gonna win by 1 point the third place position, and like Blue Samurais are in third place. The championship final, as I would predict, would be everything that you have seen. If you have seen how women been mistreated in the red light district of Amsterdam, check out those YouTube videos. You're gonna understand, because these sporting events that are like big. The Olympics and the World Cup are like really big events, bigger than the Super Bowl, bigger than any other event you ever seen. That you see all this is going to be, the final is going to be South Korea versus the Netherlands. All right, so it is what it is. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be something that this game is going to open up a can of worms. It's going to open up the can of worms, because I believe that how it is going to happen. But also, I will just tell the woman who comments on my channel, I remember you doing a video about Netherlands is going to reach out in 2014 when the World Cup was held in Brazil. Yeah, but instead you could do with the country of Qatari flag, and you sing the same thing, but instead of Brazil, Qatar. Netherlands champions of Qatar 2022, because I bet you going to make another video about them. We are the champions. I remember the song, we are the champions, and we will rock you. And though we will. First we will rock you, and then we are the champions. If you want to see Ivana Raymonda Vanderveen latest video singing 2 songs from Queen, is gonna come up soon, because I know that what I'm gonna tell you about this final is gonna be epic. This final is gonna open up minds, and then other issue that we need to say, Koreans I would say this: you guys ain't perfect, but you open up the can of worms. You open up the can of worms of what is going on in Japan during World War II, and you say about your own women. I mean, you made mistakes, but I mean, like everybody has done mistakes. About this can of worms of Chinese women getting raped by Japanese men and Korean women getting raped by Japanese men. It is that to doing that, but you're gonna open a can of worms right there, because I know that once that I seen 2004 when the protests of women, not being, not permitted to do their work in South Korea. They have to fled to other countries, fled to the United States, do it illegally, or do it in Nevada, or fled to the Netherlands. But this is one of your women going to the game, to the final, and promote the mistreatment in that country. And I bet this is going to be a game changer of all things. But, South Korea, you ain't gonna win this year. You ain't gonna win in 2026, because what you're going to win is attention, and the attention and awareness of what's going on. The attention of awareness of what's going on. A bunch expose about these punks over there, because I've seen YouTube videos, the dark side of the red light district of Amsterdam. You Koreans are going to expose it. You're gonna open up the can of worms, but you ain't gonna win the World Cup. I'm sorry, you ain't gonna win the World Cup, because I know what you're gonna do. You're just gonna win people's hearts and open up their minds and open up the cases to discover the dark side of one area, and that's about it. But what's going to be like this, and this is, we are just gonna play football, play soccer. American audience, that you notice what it is, and what was this game was gonna be about. That that the Netherlands will actually make a couple of goals. It would be great that, there's going to be that 5-0, or maybe I believe it's going to be very high score. They're gonna, South Korea might lose miserably, like 5-0 and 5-0, or 7 or 8, who knows? But what is gonna be, or if South Korea may do 1 goal, they might lose with 1, and the result is the Netherlands, for the first time, are going to win this World Cup. And that is my predictions of this World Cup. I might be wrong. France might take the World Cup again. An African country might win. England might win. And probably South Korea might win. All right. So all it is to do to my prediction is, in my predictions, Netherlands is going to be the World Cup champions for the first time, even though they beat Team USA. And South Korea takes 2nd place. Japan takes 3rd place. And France are gonna end up with 4th place. In the fourth position, the top 4 teams gonna be Netherlands champions, South Korea runner-up, 3rd place Japan, and 4th place France. That's how I see. 2026 in a way is gonna be. It is the World Cup is without Italy. Can you imagine that? That might be 2026 predictions. I don't know how it's gonna be. 48 teams was going to be there. Colombia might be there, but yeah, but you know the video and it says Football USA. We talking about my previous video. If you never seen that video, it is an oval shaped ball. All it is, you kicking a field goal, or when you have a touchdown, 3 points or an extra point for a touchdown. That's Football USA. I know it's kind of with rugby and soccer. The Football International. Football International is the one we are talking about, and this is football. The rest of the world, as I'm talking about football, the rest of the world, you play with the foot. And then I heard it's a round ball and you play because of the commercial. I mean, I hope that Don King will do a Super Bowl commercial with Tom Brady and David Beckham. It would be interesting. But yes, I know, only an America thing. And what it is for 2026 is going to be hosted by the US, Canada, and Mexico. So and then these would be the thing is, and how would this would be Italy or no Italy? I'm gonna freaking tell you what's going to happen if Italy enters the United States World Cup, and what would be these predictions of all of this. I could tell you the country that wants to determine to be doing this, and this is all about one country that they wanna to make it big and make it big in any other area. They already did it with electronics. They want to go in the economy. Is China. And China will go to the 2026 World Cup. Yes, China. China aiming or advise them or what it is to make these even propaganda. Like they want to show China in the Chinese government, the CCP and whatever they might. Who knows what's the thing with China? If they going to have a greater victory to show that 10-0 against the USA. I mean, what's going on that China will have their coach will be from Colombia. A Colombian coach would coach an Asian team. It's called Dario Gomez, known in Spanish as they call him, the police stick, or Bolillo Gomez, right? He is gonna coach Team China. China's gonna make it there, but then it is what it is. And Italy, I'm gonna put the case with Italy in the World Cup. I'm talking about the World Cup 2026 with Italy, right? Colombia's gonna be in. I mean, the other Asian nations gonna be in. Yeah, I mean, all the only Asian nation would be in. It would be, I mean, Japan, South Korea, China, maybe India might go in the 2026 World Cup, or Australia. Who knows? But after all, what I'm seeing, I mean, maybe Australia might be absent. Singapore might get in there. But all I know is that China is going to be in there. And talk about Italy. Italy is going to be in there. And even Colombia. Colombia could make it to the quarterfinals or whatever it is. But it is what it is. Colombia could makes it. And probably that I'm Colombian American. My parents are from Colombia. I would say Colombia could make it far, but it's not going to be like it is. Yes, they're going to face tough challenges in Germany. Talk about Germany losing against another European team. Italy in the World Cup. This is with Italy in 2026. USA Canada 2026 with Italy. So what's gonna be with it? What's gonna be that? Germany versus Italy in one of the matches. I mean, right at the spot. To put it this way, Italy is going to embarrass Germany. Yes, Germany did it with Brazil. That 7-1 match. 7-1 match is gonna be like that, But this time, Italy is going to do it on Germany. 7-1. But Germany losing against Italy in the United States. The game might be held in the US in any way. Italy 7, Germany 1. Can you imagine that embarrassment? Germany losing to Italy? Yeah, and this is where it goes. And then Germany gets eliminated. Germany gets eliminated, but Italy gets in. And then this is all these. It's gonna take very long. And after this, wondering about Germany and Italy. But after all, Team Japan. This is another good one. Team Japan. Yep, I knew this was going on right there. Japan is going to the finals. South Korea is going to the finals. This is the 2026 prediction. We might not know how it's going to be. And England, then have Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, all of the UK in that 2026 tournament. And yeah, Italy's in there, Germany's in there. Ukraine might be in there. Ukraine in there. Then they're gonna freaking wipe out Russia in a World Cup in 2026. I don't know if it's gonna take place in Canada, but if Ukraine faces Russia, Ukraine is going to whoop Russia's ass like that. But for Russia, they're gonna be scoreless. Ukraine is going to beat Russia in 1, 2, 3. Believe it or not. All right, this is Ukraine beating Russia 5-0, maybe embarrassed, maybe be 10, like China will do to the USA. But the thing with that China will do to the USA is gonna be like Xi Jinping would show, look at the fall of the USA, and they show a soccer game. They're gonna show a soccer game of China. It's gonna be very powerful and whatever. Look, they defeat the USA, and they show the soccer game. The United States getting embarrassed with a 10-0 game in the United States, losing to China 10-0, 10-0, right? So, but then this would be that this propaganda saying that China in the FIFA Cup in USA, Canada, and Mexico, saying to announce that they're going to win and they're going to take it all. They're going to be the next Brazil, the Brazil of Asia. Yes, Asia's Brazil. China is going to promote, if they say that they beat 10-0 against the USA in 2026 World Cup, they're saying the Brazil of Asia is going to be China. China is the next Brazil, is gonna like win more than Brazil, and all this propaganda. You know how government propaganda works, and that's what it says, that China beat the USA. That say that China would be the Brazil of Asia, or Asia's Brazil, that they're going to be like Brazil. Yeah, that's how China is going to promote their win against the USA, to say that they are the next Brazil. All right, so in that case, this kind of false propaganda, thinking that their team is going to be the next Brazil, like in China, in case in there for the 2026 World Cup, China the new Brazil. I mean, hey, I mean, YouTube is not shown in China, but you know how it is, of China promoting themselves and beating the USA at a FIFA World Cup in the USA's home turf, to saying that they are the next Brazil. Yeah, but then this is where it goes, and this is where it stands. Okay? The USA gets eliminated at home. Japan faces South Korea. China faces Italy. How I'm gonna predictions for 2026. 2026 will be something to forget, the unforgettable, that promote, and that, like, saying that of promoting China to be the new Brazil is gonna be a joke. Yes, it's going to be a joke, because Italy in 2026 World Cup, they don't even gonna go for third. China's not even gonna go for third place. In the third place matchup, they're gonna China and Italy ties up. Italy defeats China by penalty kicks. Italy's third place. The championship, Japan versus South Korea. South Korea, same thing, end up in second place. Japan winning their first World Cup in 2026, and that would be and it's gonna be in US turf, and they're gonna call it the World Cup, the 2026 World Cup, the Pearl Harbor of sports. I know what is called the Pearl Harbor of sports because of Pearl Harbor. Yeah, I mean, Japan attacked and Pearl Harbor, U.S. territory. And enough with that, because that was going to come by. But then the Italy case, missing a World Cup. They have missed the World Cup in Russia. And I know that Italy fans right there. But this is where we're gonna go to give third place to China, is when Italy gets absent. And you know, there's competitions that you have to face Australia, New Zealand, and I mean they're gonna be one of those candidates of UEFA. You know, like this time Peru and Australia got in because of Peru never went to the World Cup. But this time gonna use of one of the European teams. Italy's fate will be, in the case of this female fans, the most beautiful Asian female fans, also would be the case in the fate of Italy. Italy preparing for the 2026, you know, they are probably could be UEFA champions, or like the European division. Italy have to face Australia, New Zealand facing the Philippines, right? And this is where another Asian team, we have two Asian teams with two Colombian coaches, and it's gonna be the Ass Cows. Philippines are known as the Ass Cows, right? Street dogs. And then what he might be is gonna be by another Colombian coach called Francisco Maturana. He might end up coaching the Philippines, and this is where the fate of Italy goes. After defeating Australia, after the Philippines defeats New Zealand, Italy might end up losing against the Philippines. This is where you have something interesting. The World Cup without Italy. Germany might have a chance to go there, but they might even lose with China again. Germany might lose to China, and after that, you have the Philippines. The Philippines going for third place, and the coach Francisco Maturana would say, instead of Ascos, he has created the pit bulls of Asia. The Asia's pit bulls. I mean, you know how pit bulls are these mean dogs and bad news dogs, right? Stay away. He might say that coaching Philippines. And what it is in this third place position, I know Japan's gonna be champions in 2026, but for the Philippines, this is where China gets third place. China gets third place in the 2026 World Cup. I mean, and this is where you have three Asian teams in the top three of the World Cup. Maybe four Asian teams in the top four. You have Japan as championship, runner-up South Korea, third place China, fourth position Philippines. Why? Because this is kind of interesting in 2026, another World Cup without Italy. Another World Cup without Italy, and it seems like, of course, it's going to happen. It might happen. It might happen with these competitions if they put Italy facing Australia, and Philippines defeating New Zealand, and against the Philippines, Italy against the Philippines. I mean, Italy might defeat Australia but end up losing against the Philippines. And the story about the most beautiful Asian female fans. And there where it is, I love Japanese women. I'm gonna have between Japanese, Korean. Second place of India butts in, might have second place. I mean, of most beautiful Asian female fans. I mean, if India's not there, Japan takes second place or third place. I don't know. First place of the most beautiful Asian fans in the World Cup, if Italy's absent, it's going to be the Philippines. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's going to be interesting, but that's 2026. 2026 it is. But all I know in 2022, this World Cup Qatar 2022 predictions is going to be the Netherlands champions, second place South Korea, third place Japan, fourth place is France. And this is it. Subscribe to the Embargo Man channel. I know it might be a long video. It's very interesting. It is a sport at as big as the Olympics. See you on the next video. Please subscribe to the Embargo Man channel. And if this predictions, if I am wrong about the 2022 World Cup, I understand. But if I'm right, then you'll see Ivana Raymonda Vanderveen doing or singing 2 songs from Queen at the same time. We will rock you, and we are the champions. I mean, it's gonna be fun, you know? So see you in the next video, and my prediction is it's gonna happen. Netherlands will win this World Cup. Ivana Raymonda Vanderveen is gonna sing 2 songs from Queen and end of story. Believe it or not, it's gonna happen. But if not, okay, have fun. Goodbye.